Scene on BBC Radio London with Aurie Styla.
This is The Scene.
Millionaire Khalees Andre 3000. We are in here bantering and talking about more ATL artists. My next guest is coming here as well. Remy's still here, and also my brother's here who's filming. And my next guest came and we started talking about music artists that we like and who we don't like and what they're good for and so on. And I got very emotional and I was about to throw the chair across the room, nice and simple, at my brother, because he happened to say that Ludacris, one of my favourite rappers, if not my favourite rapper, is one of the best feature artists, but he standalone. You know, sometimes when you just don't have, so you can't choose your family in it, right? You have to accept who they are, right? But if I could choose my family, after that opinion, it wouldn't be him. I tell you that for free. How dare you? How dare you say that? Stand up. Saturday. Ooh. What's your fantasy? Block lockdown. I don't business about what you lot have to say, right? Ludacris is the guy. He's talking, they're all discussing in the background, and I just don't want to have to hear what he has to say no more. Shout out to the person that also just called in and said, I loved Remy's song and voice. And he's from Islington too. Yeah, so shout out to you, a gentleman called Mark. So big up yourself, Mark. Loved your voice there, Remy. And is also from Islington as well. I got my next guest in the building. We had North London in the house. Now we got one from East, a new and born rapper and songwriter. He's already made a hit on the Patrick Scott Whip It. UK hip hop is smooth and soulful, not syrupy, but smooth and soulful, and it's all about social commentary. Can we welcome, please, Skulduggz? What's going on, sir?
What's happening, Aurie, man? Thank you for having me.
Nah. Thank you for coming down, bro. How you doing?
I'm really well, bro. I'm really well. How are you?
I'm all good. I can't complain. I'm all right, sir.
Yeah, man.
I'm all right. A bit upset, a bit heated after the conversation.
I hear
about
that.
Ludacris.
I was there with you. I'm not gonna lie. I was there with you. I was like, but I didn't want to speak out of place. You know what I'm saying?
No. You tell him about himself.
Come
sometime.
on, man.
You
Top 5 artists of that period, bro. Stand alone.
This
is what I'm saying, bro.
This is what I'm saying.
Luda all day, man.
This is what I mean. We're going to keep saying it until when he has to edit this, he has to read that, play it back.
Just hears it. It's
subliminal. This is what I'm saying.
Wake up like Luda's the best.
This is what I'm trying. This is what I'm saying. Yeah, Ludacris. This is what I'm trying to get him to really appreciate. So I mean, we got a real guy in here. He's not just a music artist, right? We're going to go music further. We're going to talk about other things just straight after. But firstly, let's go about music. East London-based rapper, singer, songwriter. Talk to me. Firstly, the track "Whip It," international things.
Yeah, man. That was crazy. That was so. I'll tell you the story, basically how it started.
Okay.
I got contacted on Instagram, yeah. Always do your socials. I keep telling people on Instagram by a guy named Patrick Scott, and he was bugging me with it. Like, you know, I kept getting these DMs, and I was like, this guy can't be serious. Like, do you know what I mean? I was just like looking at his kind of image, because he's a very clean cut pop star.
Okay.
You know, at the time I didn't know he was a star, but he was doing his thing. Anyway, long story short, he was like, look, I love your stuff. I really want you to jump on and do a verse for me. I was like, all right, cool. Pass it on to my manager, Steve. Steve was like, listen, I heard his stuff. He's all right. If you like it, go. I wrote a quick verse for him. Mm-hmm. He flew me out to Switzerland. We went over there. I recorded the verse for him, flew back. A couple months later, he flew me out to do the video and to do a live show. I had no idea the level this guy was at. I got out there and there was flyers with his face on it. My name was over Switzerland. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Do you know what I mean? And it was a massive success. It went to #1 in the iTunes download charts. Woo! My feature, man. It was crazy. I was very blessed to have that, man. It was a really inspiring kind of time for me, bro. Like a lot happened after that. It put a fire under me. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Definitely did.
And initially you were like, I don't know.
I was like, because it felt a bit out of my comfort zone. You know, I've come from a background of sort of, you know, hip hop and grime and stuff like that. So this was a very Europop kind of track. And as much as it was catchy, and I'm nodding along to it. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. I don't look at any genre and think, it's not for me. But I just wasn't sure. But then when I was like, let me try a verse, and I put a verse to it, and it gave me that good feeling, that happy vibe, do you know what I mean? That energy vibe. I was like, yeah, man, let's go with it. Let's do this. And lo and behold, that's where it ended up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
nice.
Got blessings, man.
No, well done to you.
Thank you, bro.
It's not the only time you've done well as well. MTV reality show Refreshers. You've won that in 2018, I believe.
Yeah, man, that was amazing, bro. Like, that was absolutely epic, my brother. Like, again, random. Working in a nightclub, and a caster came in. And I didn't know she was a caster, obviously. She was just a lady, and she was kind of looking around. I went up and I was just chatting away, like she didn't have a drink in her hand. I was like, let me refresh that, make sure that gets changed. I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me get a
Man,
drink.
try to put game on there, Bridget.
Listen, I'm just making sure everyone having a good time. You know what I mean?
Man, try to put game on there.
I roll up like, yo, what I'm baby. But no, that's what I do as a host in the club. Make sure everyone's having a good time. And, we got chatting, and she was like, I like your vibe and stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was what anyone thought it was. And she was like, let me take your details and that. I'll get at you. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Do your thing. Next day, a message popped up. Car start. I was like, wow, all right, cool. Boom. I'm on, a few interviews later, I'm on an MTV reality show, man. It was like a surreal moment for me, bro.
Nice.
Like a few weeks into that, and I've won it, man. And it was just like, whoa, like, again, world changing.
So, I mean, what did you have to do in it? I mean, we hear reality shows, we think of like Towie and Made in Chelsea. What was Refreshers like? Refreshers
was a completely different vibe. Shout out to everybody that was involved in Refreshers, MTV, Elephant House, like Kate, everyone out there, Holly and that, because Refreshers was set around being at university, being 25 plus and kind of getting a chance to go back and refresh your life, do university again, you know what I'm saying? And it was quite serious in that respect, but in the other respect, it was a joke, because every time we take us kind of serious, what you do at uni, they turn it into a game. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be like, do you get what I'm saying? So it'd be like, oh, we're going to do some science today. And then we'd have like a crazy challenge, like science, loosely science, very tenuously based around science, and they'd follow us around Liverpool on a wild goose chase and stuff. It was really fun, really entertaining. But we found out, individually, we found out a lot about ourselves, because it was really taxing. You're under quite a lot of pressure, and you're around people you don't know, people from all over the country, and we were all put into one house. We had that kind of Big Brother element to it and that side of things. But it was kept really positive, and it felt like a really positive show. So if anyone, I think it wasn't widely viewed, but I think the people that saw it, they were like, yeah, it's got a different vibe to it, man. It was very much about being positive and kind of, what are you going to do now with your life kind of thing, do you know? I enjoyed it anyway.
Nice. Did it help with the music, like being on a show like that, and then people check you out what else you're doing?
I think I got a little bit of people kind of more looking at what I was doing more seriously, because I won the show off of a freestyle. That was kind of one of the major things. Yeah. So we had a kind of a massive, we put a party on. Me and the last contestant, Shantanya Beckford. Shout out Shantanya Beckford. Amazing girl. We put on a talent show, basically, and we had to get half of Liverpool involved. We invited them down. We set it up. And one side was a circus, the other side was a beach party, and we had a few hundred people there, bro. It was crazy, like all these Liverpudlians, and we just had to perform and kind of keep them entertained. And right at the end, we had a sound clash. We had two DJs. We had Rewire. Was my DJ Rewire, and we just had to do something, what sound clashes, what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
How we do it, of course,
Yeah,
back
to back, yeah, of course.
Mr. Styla knows, what I'm saying? And we just had to do our thing, man. And it was like, right at the end, I was like, nah, you know what? Shantanya's killing it, man. She got a body like a goddess as well. So she's like twerking and doing all this stuff. I'm losing the crowd here, man. So I just dropped to 16, and the crowd went nuts. And I think that pushed it over the edge. From then, people have been taking me a lot more seriously, man.
Nice. That's cool, man. I like that. It's not the only time you've been doing shows of that nature. Is it true you co-produce and contribute to the topical YouTube show Barber Banter?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Barber Banter crew, Big T,
Barber
Uncle
Banter.
Pat. Yeah, Michael, everybody, man. Like Barber Banter on YouTube. That's a show I got involved in beginning of last year, and that's amazing. It's a topical show that we do based in East London in a barbershop called Cut Above the Rest with the actual barbers of the shop.
Okay.
So we've got Pat, who owns a shop, Pat Phipps. He's like the godfather in East London. Everybody knows Pat. Do you know what I mean? Like from generation to generation to generation. He's self-made entrepreneur. He's got his shops. He's got he's a mentor at the college and stuff.
Nice.
The local college. And then there's Terry, who is it's his baby. It was his idea. And we just have this show where we talk about, things that you would talk about in a barbershop, and we open the floor to the customers and to people walking in, and we just throw it and chop it up amongst the barbers as well. These guys are nuts. Like, they are nuts, innit?
Oh, brother, we all go barbers. We know what the conversation is like.
Exactly. So, that stuff is, you can find that on YouTube, man. Just type in Barber Banter. And we had a couple episodes go viral. We were dealing with some topics, like local violence and street violence, and, kind of trying to get to the cause and root of it and try and work out, why these things are happening and what we can do to stop them. And we had some guests on, and we actually had a active, I guess you call it a trapper, an active trapper from the local sides, kind of trying to give us a perspective from how he saw it. And we had a guy from Brighton as well who's never had any kind of dealings with that kind of side of life, that you would see sort of inner cities and stuff, and complete opposite sides of the spectrums, and they unfortunately clashed. But it really did highlight the argument, because it was so heated. It wasn't so much the clash that was highlighted the argument, it was the fact that there was such a massive divide in the understanding of what was going on. It showed that people outside of the inner cities have a completely different view. It doesn't mean it's wrong, but a completely different view of what's going on because they're not experiencing it.
Yeah, of
you
course,
know?
yeah.
And that was something that went viral. You know, we got 100,000 views on that in like a couple of weeks. It was on like some other stations and stuff like that. We won't mention who, you know what I'm saying? Like, but and we've had a few other things. We've broken down quite a few fit topics, man, and we just signed a deal to have that produced properly now. So that you're going to be seeing that probably. Well, we don't know who yet, but you're going to be seeing that as a professional show coming out very, very soon, man. So
Nice, man. Growth
blessed to
and
be
progress.
part of that, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate
Growth and
that.
progress. I like that, man. You've performed with quite a few people as well.
Yeah, man.
Miss Banks,
Oh, yes.
Avellino.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. When I say perform, we came up in a showcase called Lyrically Gifted back in the day.
Okay.
That was hosted by not Miss Banks, B Jones, Blaze Jones, who unfortunately passed away last year of cancer. But she is the unsung hero of the London Underground. A lot of the acts that you are seeing now broke their teeth on Miss Banks's platform. Sorry, not Miss Banks. Sorry, Blaze Jones's platform, Lyrically Gifted, with GNSPR Promotions. And I was alongside some amazing artists, man. I see them pop, you know, like Nadia Rose, Miss Banks, Avellino. I went on tour with Miss Banks to Leicester, and I didn't know who she was. Like I got picked up in a car by LDN Bren. I don't know if you know him. He's a promoter and photographer and does amazing things, looks after people. But he picked me up from East Ham, and there's this beautiful black girl sleeping in a car, like as I'm sitting in the back, and I'm just thinking, who's this? But obviously, you know what I mean. She's sleeping at night, saying that I'm talking to Bren. We driven from London to Leicester now, and you know, she's woke up and she's just gone into game mode. I've never seen somebody so professional, like just like she woke up and someone flicked a switch. Do you know what I'm saying? She's like, yep. Shut down the stage, like absolutely shut the thing down, yeah. And I was just like, who is this? That was my first introduction to Miss Banks. Just a really professional, lovely girl. And again, working around, seeing people like that, because, you know, I never did stage time with them. I was like opening act and, you know, things like that. Do you know what I mean? For these acts. But seeing them do their thing was kind of like, that was amazing. Like Avellino, I saw Stormzy before Stormzy was like big, you know, on those stages, you know, that kind of way. Shout out all those acts, man, like Eclipse, Kieran Booth, all the people that did them stages and that, man. Amazing platform, some incredible artists. You're going to see them. It's like that. It was like a finishing school. It's like a Xavier school, man. I swear that. I swear that. And some amazing
for the X-Men.
Yeah, man. There's some, like, you're seeing them now as well. That's what's crazy. All these people that I saw cutting their teeth, you know, I'm seeing big things from them. Nadia Rose, like Nadia Rose. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I did one of her first early interviews years ago, and you just knew when she spoke. You just knew. You knew this person's gonna be someone.
Well, I remember seeing her on stage, and her energy was like, bro, she was like a super saiyan, bro.
Yeah.
I swear down, she was like, it was easy for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, KO Ken, simple, I ain't trying. You know what I mean? Like, it was easy. Like, and she's a real person. Like, her whole team are like that as well. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to all of them. Shout out to everybody I cut my teeth with Lyrically Gifted. Shout out to GNSPR, and God rest Blaze, man. Like, she did a lot for a lot of people, man.
Nice, man. So, Be a Man, tell me, we're going to play that now. What's this about?
Okay, so Be a Man kind of marked the transition for me from kind of the street stuff that I was doing in musically. I mean, I was making very urban, kind of grittier music, and this kind of marked my transition into kind of maturing and I guess focusing on other things like my family, and, you know, careers, future, that kind of thing. You know, it's switched up from gallum and parties to mortgages and nappies. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, have you got a little one?
I have, yeah. I've got a little one and a surprise that I probably won't go on air about that one. Yeah, but life is good at the moment. I'm blessed in it. So yeah, I got a little one there. My missus is there and that, and life is good, bro. I can't lie to you.
Nice, that's good, man.
But yeah, that's what Being Man's about, and I'm really glad you picked that one. Shout out DJ Gotzi on the production in this, and Steve for the engineering, and yeah, man.
All right, BBC Radio London, The Scene. Let's press play on Skulduggz. Be a Man.